how does this work? The whole Toho thing, as in.
Okay, so
yeah, explain this, please.
they did a deal with Toho because Toho hasn't actually been making Godzilla movies for a while.
The last one was Shin Godzilla,
Well,
right?
this deal was before Shin Godzilla, and Shin Godzilla is
Oh.
actually quite important in terms of this deal.
Okay.
Because it stated that the deal they made with either Legendary or Warner Bros. I don't know who the deal is made with. Stated that Toho could not release a Godzilla movie in the same year as these movies came out.
Fair enough.
Which is why they were able to do Shin Godzilla, because it came out at a time when there wasn't a Godzilla movie.
All right.
It also means that if Warner Bros. Wants to do more of these movies with Godzilla specifically, they will have to probably renew their contract with Toho, and Toho is now quite aggressively planning their extended whatever universe with, what is it? What was the one we...
Shin Ultraman?
Shin Ultraman, and now has been announced today, actually, Shin Kamen Rider, directed by Hideaki Anno.
So who owns Kong? Or King Kong, sorry.
Well, that is a very, very large and very, very long story.
Okay, so Toho owns...
Godzilla. They were the studio that originally made Godzilla. Of course, the original movie directed by Ishiro Honda, who also created kind of Godzilla. He at least co-wrote it.
Yeah.
And was actually originally inspired by King Kong, the original King Kong from 33.
Okay.
Which was made by RKO Pictures. The thing with that is RKO Pictures is not really alive anymore.
It's not a it's not a person, Daniel.
Well, it's one of those like old movie studios that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like there are different parts of the rights to different characters. So for instance, if you want to make merchandise with King Kong, it's a different rights holder. And this is true, to a lawsuit with Nintendo.
How?
Donkey Kong.
Oh shit. Why? Because it has Kong in it, right?
Yeah, the original Donkey Kong game was a game where you play as, well, the original Mario, who wasn't called Mario at the time, scaling a building where an ape holds a woman hostage, which is King Kong.
Yeah.
So the rights holder at the time was like, yo, Nintendo, that's King Kong. And they were like, no, it's not, it's Donkey Kong. And they won. So that's why we have a Donkey Kong. So yeah.
Oh god. I like that they didn't even try to give him a second different name. It's still Kong.
No. It's just Donkey Kong. Yep.
Oh, what a fuck you. As far as I understand, this isn't the first time that there's been a King Kong Godzilla crossover movie thing.
There was one in the 60s. I can't remember if it was 62 or 64. Doesn't really matter.
No.
Where Toho made the Godzilla, which I actually think is called Godzilla versus King Kong.
It's called King Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay, fair enough.
I just found it.
62 or 64?
63.
Oh. Swing and a miss, Daniel.
This ball is crushed.
There's a lot of funny stories around the King Kong versus Godzilla movie, including a rumor that there were two endings, one for each audience.
Oh.
So if you went to see it in America, King Kong won, and if you went to see it in Japan, Godzilla won, which has never been substantiated, and it's probably false because
it's so strange that this is probably the most bizarre culture clash versus thing that I've ever seen, because King Kong, it doesn't take a brain doctor or whatever, a scientist to determine the sort of racial implications of, this giant ape that was taken from a native looking land and, exposed, and it sort of,
oh boy, yeah.
It's very obvious what it's doing, right? And then the other one is a metaphor for nuclear, Godzilla is a child of nuclear explosions and, Hiroshima and that kind of thing. And these two things that technically don't really have anything to do with each other in terms of symbology and semiotics and that kind of thing. They're just two things that happen to be big. So it's like, well, they're roughly the same size. Let's just have them fucking smash into each other like a bunch of toys.
They're kind of spawns of each other because King Kong was kind of the first big monster movie at the time.
Right, fair enough, yeah.
So he spawned a lot of imitators and other kaiju movies, which we will talk about in this series, which includes Godzilla.
I don't think was the original King Kong. Was it somebody in a suit?
It was stop motion. It was made by Willis O'Brien, who was the guy who taught Ray Harryhausen.
Wow,
actually.
That's incredible.
He was stop motion back in the day, and then later they would go on to do like models, and at some point they would just go to people in a suit, and then of course with Peter Jackson they mocapped him.
They mocapped Andy Serkis.
Andy
right?
Serkis, yeah. But yeah, as you state, like there is a lot of weird implications between both characters. Like they're kind of odd to have like multiple movies made of them, because Godzilla, of course, is reference to nuclear destruction, and like a very symbolic character in Japan has like 36 films where most of them he's a mascot. Like he's the fucking cultural ambassador for Tokyo. He has an address.
What is at that address?
There is actually a model of like Godzilla's tail sticking out of the window.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Japan so much.
I sent you this photo a few days ago, but there is a photo of a guy in a Godzilla suit being given like a banner, like a, what is it called when you get like that strip of fabric across your like.
Oh, right. Yeah, like the mayor or something.
Yeah, and he gets it from like the mayor of Tokyo. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that King Kong has sort of just been remade a bunch, whereas Godzilla has had like an entire fucking universe built around him.
Yeah, it's a continuity, right? That spans from the first movie, pretty much, or?
Well, the first movie is sort of negated a lot, because in that Godzilla is seen as like a villain, and then later he's more of like the hero of man. He saves the kids.
It's so funny.
Which is what these movies sort of draw on, even though it appears in every movie he seems to nuke half the planet.